What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Smoke a Murderer. For anybody that might be lost because they're new to the channel, we talk about smoking people over here. To sum it up in short, it's people getting sentenced to prison for a long period of time. I call it Chattanooga train smoke, but it's got many names. Vapors, light mistings. Vapors probably the worst because it's here today and gone tomorrow. Light mistings, I'd say probably 10 years or less. And when it comes to smoke, that's pretty much right there with vapor. Now that I broke that down for you, might as well go ahead and become a member. Hit the like button, subscribe, share, donate. Now just hear me out. Just hear me out, alright? If every last one of y'all donated $1, it would change all of my daughters' lives. Not mine, but my daughters. Gotta think of the kids first. I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just playing. If you're new, man, you're probably thinking this guy's a fucking scammer. I'm just joshing y'all, man. My real name's Josh, but people call me Death over here. And we're going to be watching this guy get sentenced for killing someone. Ohio. Richard Nelson was found guilty of aggravated murder by a Stark County jury for gunning down his on and off girlfriend of nearly 10 years. On and off, to me, is what I like to call booty calls. But that's just me. Now, you gotta remember, those booty calls that you have, sooner or later, they're gonna find the love of their life, and they ain't gonna want you no more. But when I read on and off, that's what I see. You know, it could be something else. They could have been really in love. They just had a love-hate relationship. Nelson, 55, of East Canton, hopefully I pronounced that right, shot 38-year-old Rebecca Rogers 3 times as she worked the breakfast shift as a waitress at the Bob Evans at Les Street and U.S. Route 62 on April 16th. Rogers was seeing 2 men at the time, according to the trial testimony, and Nelson, her on and off boyfriend of 10 years, reportedly was unaware of Rogers' new relationship. Nelson and Rogers were last seen together at Nelson's East Canton farm on April 14th by his 25-year-old son, who said the couple appeared to be normal at the time while giving Nelson an estimate to cut down a tree. The next day, Nelson was experiencing trouble in his groin and believed Rogers had given him a sexually transmitted disease for a second time. If they were to give me a sexually transmitted disease for the first time, I'm gone. Must have been a curable one. You can forgive her. This one probably wasn't curable. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Pure speculation on my part. I do apologize, Your Honor. The morning of April 16th, Roger was with Carl Andrews at her new lover's residence after spending the night. Roger, Nelson's girlfriend on and off, showed Andrew, the new lover, 99 missed calls from who other than Nelson himself, paranoid as hell, wondering where she's at, and probably furious that he has a new sexually transmitted disease. Pure speculation still, pure speculation. Now the new lover happens to take the phone, and he testifies that he told Nelson that Rogers moved on and he needed to stop calling. Around the same time of the phone conversation between Andrews and Nelson, a resident was sitting in his living room with picture windows overlooking Lesh Road near Bob Evans. Robert Baker testified he noticed a black Mercedes with heavily tinted windows drive down the street at least 6 times. Baker told the court he had seen the vehicle before and noticed there was no license plate on the vehicle. This is what we call a nosy neighbor, ladies and gentlemen. There's always one of them. Surveillance video from nearby businesses shows the vehicle described by Baker, a black Mercedes with tinted windows, parked in the back of Bob Evans' parking lot around 9:30 a.m. The hooded shooter gets out of the car and walks to the inside of the restaurant by the carry-out door. The suspect waited several seconds, then went inside and killed his girl. Now that you heard the story, let's go ahead and watch him go through the court process. First up, we got the bond hearing. And second up, we got the sentencing. Let's see how this goes. Put on your khakis, button up, take off your hat, remove your cell phone. You know the drill. Smoke session time, baby. Alright, there's only audio coming out the right headphone. I apologize. Turn it up a little bit here. There we go.
Here, on the record, Mr. Reed, you may proceed.
Brought him out in a wheelchair, but he can obviously stand.
Richard James Nelson, 2021 CRA 01692, aggravated murder.
Mr. Nelson, good morning. You're charged with that.
Hold on a second. We're going to have to analyze this courtroom. First and foremost, the video man, the videographer in this case, is nothing less than exceptional. He has wonderful zoom ins and zoom outs. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Walmart self-checkout laser gun. What is this doing in the courtroom? I don't know. Maybe they got a snack bar in the back. coffee shop, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe they should do that. I mean, churches nowadays got like coffee shops inside there where you can buy coffee and stuff. Might as well have one in the courtroom. Wood grain looks like alpine birch. And let us not forget about the matching drop-top convertibles. I do apologize, Your Honor. I drank too much coffee this morning. And one last thing to analyze, what the hell is this? That ain't the time. 720? Definitely ain't the time. Probably the number of people he smoked today. That's a hell of a smoke it, Your Honor. All that done before lunch recess. I'm just playing. He ain't send that many people to prison. It's probably just a case number.
Aggravated murder, that's a special felony. A copy of the complaint's been served. Attorney Wise is present in the courtroom with me. He's representing your interests here today. I believe, Attorney Wise, good morning. You've had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Nelson. Is that correct, sir?
That's correct, Your Honor. At this time, I plead not guilty, wavering of the complaint in open court. I would request a status conference hearing for this case. I would also make the court aware we have previously filed a notice of right.
He's been reading that one piece of paper for a minute.
Requesting that his fifth and sixth
Bro, take it to the block and read it.
That the state, the sheriff's department, the municipal police,
Got plenty of time back there.
Mr. Nelson without having an attorney present, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. With respect to the notices, I believe Attorney Thorne was here on the 19th yesterday and made the court aware of those.
Ain't nothing you can do about that paper, bro.
That'll be noted for the record.
Nothing.
With respect to the request for a status conference, the next hearing on this case, Mr. Nelson, will take place April 22nd of this year, 10:30 a.m. Bond to remain as previously set on the warrant at $2 million.
$2 million bond.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
And judging by his mugshot edge up, I don't think he's got $2 million. But then again, there might be many millionaires out there that don't have edge ups. And those of y'all that don't know, if you get a $2 million bond, you're going to have to pay $200,000. Now let's go ahead and fast forward a few months and jump right into the sentencing.
I indicated that day that didn't think it would be appropriate to conduct sentencing at that time. I never think it's fair as a judge to make your decision immediately after hearing the testimony and the verdict. It's good to go think about the case and also have a sentencing hearing.
Okay, so the judge opened up saying, you know, it's always good to take the verdict back home and really think about the sentencing. Because a lot of judges, after they hear the verdict from the jury, they'll give them the sentencing right then. But this judge is playing it smart, probably checking his ends, didn't want to rush it, didn't want to seem like he was biased in any way. Took it home, read it for about a week, and then, you know, scheduled a sentencing date. Those are always the worst, though, because that guy has to go back in his cell and think about what the hell the judge is going to do to him. But if I was in there for murder, there's only two things I'm going to be looking forward to. Life or death. I would already have it in my head. I wouldn't think of anybody giving me any kind of slight misting, slight slap on the wrist. Don't forget about the mistings.
To give both sides the opportunity to present any type of statements that they would want to do so. I'll start with
that red velvet cake tie is matching that seat and backdrop. This judge is not your normal judge. He's not only here to sentence people. He's here to make sense and look good. Not only with that tie, but look at that official lamp. Oh my God. That's the lamp I need. That's the lamp I want on my desk. The exact same lamp, or the Tiffany style lamps. I love those lamps. But this lamp right here, this prototype, as you can see, is the most official and authentic courtroom lamp ever to grace our presence. Remember it, ladies and gentlemen, this is legendary.
I do want to advise the court that Mr. Nelson in 1984 was convicted of attempted robbery. In 1987, he was convicted of felony for receiving stolen property. In 1987, he was convicted of felonious assault with a firearms pack. Then in December of 2000, he was convicted of receiving stolen property in F4, receiving stolen property in F5, a felony assault, and a failure to comply, a third-degree felony.
So it sounded like he stopped. It was like in 87 when he got his last charge, and then it jumped to 2000. Seems like he stopped doing criminal activities, had a good period in his life.
That's all I have to say, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. In making a decision today, the court is required to review the parameters outlined in 2909, 11 through 17 of the revised code, including the seriousness of the offense, the recidivism factors. In doing so, the judge has the burden to make a decision that protects the public from future crimes by the offender. It's somewhat enlightening in the sense that he's already done 12 years for felonious assault. The effect that this crime has on a number of different people, and I'm going to talk about that.
That's why he didn't get no trouble for those years. He was in prison for 12. for felonious assault. Well, damn, I gave him the benefit of doubt, said he was out on a good run, had a good job. Shit, this fool was in the penitentiary the whole time, got out and went right back to the same old shit. On and off until he ended up murdering this chick.
Any chance of rehabilitation?
Unreal.
The likelihood of him committing any further crimes,
Smoke
and
him.
the seriousness and the recidivism factors. However, to be transparent to the public, a defense counsel, I think I need to address something that you brought up. The fact that you're asking me to sentence him to 23 years to life, which you were willing to do before the trial. And in fairness to the court, this is something that no one ever mentioned to me to the day before the trial. I never had a discussion with defense lawyers about it. No one told me the facts of the case. No one told me his record. No one told me she was the mother of 4 kids. So the fact that you came in the morning of the trial, I mean, you're asking the court to make a very blind decision, and the court isn't not going to be a pawn of any of the parties here. So if this was something you wanted to talk about, you had months to do so. And I'm not saying I would have agreed to it after hearing all the facts, but, you know, the judge is the one that's to protect the public, and I'm responsible to them. But I can tell you this, I'm not going to be a pawn to anybody. I'm going to make the decision that I think is the right decision. And the community is tired of killings.
Let me try to figure this out. Maybe they came, or the defense said he would take the 23 years to life plea. Maybe they had a plea form or something. I don't know. But the judge said that he didn't know anything of this case until the day of trial. So that kind of opens my eyes to a question I've always asked. Do judges get a hold of these case files before the trial? I don't know the answer to that for all the cases, but from what this guy said, he didn't know anything until the trial began, which is kind of a shocker to me. I don't know how the hell that works. Maybe someone could break it down in the comment section. But he said he's not going to be some kind of pawn. I'm guessing maybe to go along with, you know, these plea deals or whatever. He's deciding to go with what he wants to go with after hearing all the evidence.
The community is tired of shots being fired.
Yeah, we are.
The community is tired of young people dying.
Yep.
They're tired of the bloodshed.
Yep.
They're tired of the broken hearts from
Amen.
these families. This seems to be happening almost on a weekly basis.
Daily, nationwide.
Now, I've heard throughout this trial that Mr. Nelson loved Rebecca Rogers. He only loves one person, himself.
Absolutely right, Your Honor.
If he would love her, he never would in cold blood went to that restaurant and shot her dead 3 times because he was some scorned lover.
Correct.
But the damage just didn't end there with his actions. She had 4 children. They deserve to have a mother.
Prayers those 4 children, man.
They deserve someone who is to guide them in their life and to be there. And to be there for their children. Those children are aimlessly trying to get through life, which is never easy, especially after getting through something traumatic as this. The last thing that really troubles me, your actions, is you had your son testify. What a nice young man. What a respectful young man. And now he doesn't get to spend time with his father.
Visitation.
On one of these phone calls I wrote down, you said I'm selfish. You're damn right you're selfish. You took so much from so many people in this room, and now it's time that you have to answer for it.
Yes, you do.
As a judge, you want to have compassion. You want to be sympathetic. On the other
Oh, man, when a judge starts off with the sentencing like that, you know, me as a judge, we want to be sympathetic, but
on aggravated murder, I'm going to sentence you to life imprisonment without parole.
ay chihuahua.
You also 3 years on the firearm specification.
He don't care.
It will be consecutive and served prior to any other offense. So you will be spending the rest of your life in prison.
Ain't too much.
I think the
of that,
last issue that we need to deal with, we talked about, you have the right to appeal this decision. You have the right to keep the lawyers that you have. On the other hand, if you do that, you waive any argument of ineffective assistance of counsel, and I thought they did an outstanding job.
This man right here, right now, is experiencing what Mr. Kodak Black explains as tunnel vision. He don't see nothing. He's just looking down a blank-ass tunnel. His life is smoked.
This time, Your Honor.
Anything more from the defense?
No, Judge.
For the Rogers family, I appreciate you being here. I'm sorry for what you're going through, and the same as the Nelson family. You've all sat through this trial. You've kept your emotions in check. I know it wasn't very easy, and it was very difficult. That'll be all.
Oh, hell no. They patted him on the back.
I'm going to sentence you to going through.
They gave him a pat on the back before he left.
You've all sat.
Good game, sir. You lost, bro. You lost. That's the end of it. Well, there you have it, man. That was an excellent episode, if I must say so myself. And the only reason why I'm saying that is not because I'm the best host with the most, but strictly because of that lamp. If it wasn't for that lamp, this would probably have been ranked like 5 or 6 on my books, but easily now it's number 1. Until the next lamp review, do not forget to hit the like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave. Check out the links in the description of the video. Add me up on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. And as always, I salute to every last one of you on this wonderful Halloween, and everybody who's just now joining the lockdown compound. Y'all be easy, be safe, and stay free.